everyone, so I'm doing another video. This one's a little happier, although I'm trying to get this video done and people keep snapping pictures because, I don't know, my phone is like just taking pictures without me even pushing the button, and I'm wearing gloves because it's really cold, and I don't know, it's like someone's trying to say whatever I'm trying to say before me, like they want to just zoom in and do whatever they can to make me miserable and drop things. And I've been trying to write this video for like months, and finally I'm just like, whatever, if I can't get it all written and together, I'm just gonna read it off this paper. Okay, but this is a happier video. It's kind of sad, but it's more happy. So this is my thought on, and I always have to look off into the distance. I don't know why I'm always looking off into the distance and not like right at the camera, but it's never aligning. So I don't know, my skin's irritated and I keep trying to fix it and it keeps breaking out, and it's really difficult. So, and it's worse than this. I just have makeup on and no telling with people snapping cameras when I'm in front of my camera what they're getting on the camera. I don't know who's doing it, but it's really aggravating. So could you please stop? Okay, so this video is about fear for vegans and fear of a vegan world. Earth is screaming and crying, and so is the world, in many different ways. Here are some of my thoughts. I've been thinking the majority of my life. The fears I have being vegan, and the fears I think everyone else who is currently not vegan, the fears that they may have about the whole ideology, I guess you could say. So why do people try to instill fear and demoralize and subjugate the vegan ideology? Because they fear. And people have said things like vegans are communists, vegans are plant murderers, vegans are not properly feeding their children. That's a new one I've been hearing a lot. People are abusing their children nutritionally. Vegans are clean eating obsessed and mental. Vegans are terrorists. Vegans are hippies. Vegans are Nazis. Vegans are basically whatever others can say to not face the reality of what's going on in the world. And it's just a progression from where we have been and where the world is going. I just think it's kind of going a little too slow. So, although thought-provoking, not so reassuring, and I fear these contradictions because it defeats progress for everyone on this planet. This scares me because it breeds anger among people, and that anger has taken away many human lives throughout history. Let me address these issues now individually. Vegans are not at all, vegans are not and are all of these things above, but so is everyone else, in a sense. Vegans are not communists, they just want the wealth distributed more equally and fairly so there's less of a poverty line. This does not mean people will not want to live in trailers or, have a mansion if that's what you like. So it doesn't mean that people wouldn't still want those kinds of experiences. All it means is that we all have the right to have variety, and yet at the same time, the quality is the most important. Okay, so vegans are not Nazis. They are working for bettering the whole planet, but you can imagine how terrifying it is to be vegan when the majority of the population is still consuming death. And so I guess naturally, most vegans are defensive. Vegans are not hippies. No vegan is not about the world being 100% peaceful and perfection. I think it's about more peace and more perfection. 97% peace would be awesome, right? Okay, so yeah, so it's about having more peace and safety and love than there has ever been before on this planet. Naturally, people argue. I think fighting physically can get bloody really quick. So, I think that, violence that way is never a good option. Never, ever. Vegans are not terrorists. Basically, I feel everyone on this planet is in some way terrorizing someone else. Maybe right now by me rambling on and not having this neatly written probably is irritating to you. I don't know. Hopefully not. So, why single out one thought or ideology over another? Is because some ideologies work better for the planet and happiness for everyone. And happiness doesn't have to mean the fears. I think a lot of people fear happiness for certain reasons, and I'll go into that later. So vegans are not plant murderers. Plant life is very different from animal life. The utilization, the regeneration, the redistribution, the remineralization of plants are quicker, faster, and more life-sustaining than any other nutritional substance. The only reason why people say that it's not is because they're still consuming these animal products and they are trying to get there faster than other people. And so then they subjugate other people in order to get where they're going faster because somehow they think they're going to be left behind or hurt or all those ideologies are associated with that kind of mentality. So, yes, plants are merely a reflection of our active nutritional needs. And animal life, if you can't tell a difference between plants and animal life, you've got to be joking because we all know the difference. So plant life, yeah, and, this goes into a very crazy topic of, plant life. Well, what are you going to say about plant life and how are you going to demean this and that and the other? And really, it's not about that. It's about happiness and health and prosperity. And plants are merely a reflection of what we need. And it is not associated with, it's like infinite starlight, infinite life. And that's basically what plants are. So this planet only holds so much human life. Obviously, we can't be close together and rubbing around all the time or we'd just be bacteria. And that's just a reflection of ourselves and our souls. And we don't really need that kind of congestion. So, yeah. And a lot of religions know that there's only so many people that can inhabit this planet. So, and we wouldn't want to contaminate space that way either, That'd be crazy too. So, there are only so many souls, and everything else is a similar conscious of our own unique souls reflecting in a different form. And I'm not going to talk about animals in that sense because animals are kind of a different topic than that to me, and I think to a lot of other people. It just gets really crazy when you talk about other animals in that sense. So, what you wear, eat, consume, breathe, and resonate with, what kind of thought, what kind of sound, what kind of currency you resonate with, that also affects your mentality and your body and your physicality for the most part. So we learn this from a very young age. We learn this, and I think we kind of get so aggressive as adults that we don't realize that I think we kind of forget sometimes. We kind of put it into the back of our minds and we say, just forget about it. And we're adults now and we have to suck it up and just, trample through the world. And it shouldn't be that way. So plan your path, share, and wait till it's your turn. And misery can cause misery unless you prevent this. And also the waiting, everyone should be taking turns and not making people wait so incredibly long for where they need to be. So vegans are not probably feeding their children and abusing their children nutritionally. This stems from society's fear of lack of control, lack of a job. Vegan children will be stunted. Vegan children will be outcasts. This is not right. Couples have been raising their children vegan for years and doing so successfully with very little complaint and with amazing outcomes. Their boys are tall and the girls are less hormonal. Vegan bodybuilders, vegan athletes, and so on. Those are all realities in the vegan world. So you can get all your nutritional needs from a plant-based lifestyle. Protein, calcium, there are B12 supplements and injections. Nutrients are all around us. And to say child abuse is wrong when so many diets are nutritionally deficient. It's really about circumstance. It's really about circumstance. Speed, money, greed, neglect of our planet and each other, children being taken away from one or both of their parents, like their property, to be bargained with rather than being valued in life, them as well as their parents. Children, adults, they're all important. They all matter. No one's less or more. Ideals, power trips over what someone thinks is best. I can't see no best in this situation. Vegans are not clean eating obsessed. They're not causing mental problems. I think the only reason why is because there's a confusion in the delay of information. So a lot of people get misinformation. I'm not surprised that professionals are going to go here, and not all professionals, but a lot of what's been established prior. It's another way of trying to move us forward, I think. It just doesn't seem that way all the time. So there's nothing wrong with dirt or wanting to be clean. Dirt, clean, it's about that balance, if I can even say balance, because so many people who say balance and work for balance, have been assassinated and hurt and ridiculed and imprisoned, and it's very sad. So pay attention to how you're feeling, listen to your body. You know your body. You know your body more than I do, more than a doctor does. Sometimes we need that other help. We need people letting us know when we need a new outlook. So some things need to be obsessed over, I guess, in a certain sense, in order to accomplish a task. Just don't feel pain because of this. And if you're going to be subjugated to mental health professionals, they need to be giving you prescriptions that actually help you, instead of this topic of side effects, and this causes this and that causes that. It's like, it should make you happy and feel better, and really there shouldn't be that much of a weight struggle either. And of course, I do think vegan prescriptions are, of course, the best option. So, with no animal byproducts and any of those fillers that they put in there. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my place here. So, focusing on disease only causes more disease. Misinformation can also cause illness, and what scares me about this topic is to have a cure or an illness. you need to have a problem. And to have a problem, you need to have a solution. So we all want something to do. So I guess having a problem isn't always a bad thing. It's just when it's an insane, intense problem, and it's like nobody should have to go through that. So bettering the world by promoting veganism and eco-friendly, fair trade, organic foods and products isn't going to benefit anyone if we keep focusing on an overconsumption of remedies. So this whole idea that you go natural and healthy and eco-friendly and you're using organic, skincare and all this and that. Well, if you're always pushing a remedy, it doesn't promote health. It's always promoting remedy. It's always promoting the problem, and I'm not against any kind of products that enhance the quality of your life. I just think that the overconsumption of those is unnecessary, and we shouldn't always be focusing on remedies. We should be focusing on what makes us happy, as long as it's within the law, as long as the law is not insanely crazy. So there should not be much pain. There should not be much delay. There should not be much anger. Let go of the ill-conceived notions of positivity is not a disease. Being positive, that's not a disease. Support each other for interaction, not sickness. So it should not hurt to think, it shouldn't really hurt to think. Like, hardly at all. In fact, I really don't think that anything should hurt. Life should be enjoyed. So don't overanalyze it. That can be destructive. And this may sound new agey or silly, but if I ever get caught up on this topic in my thoughts, I just envision the destructive thought being redirected into the earth, all the way to the center of the earth where it is warm to be decontaminated and remineralized and made into new energy with no recollection of what it was before, or to be recreated into something beautiful or become the infinite starlight that is all around us. The medical field would have to change its approach drastically, dentists included, and I think this is the fear that everyone has of the planet being vegan, is that, especially the doctors who make a lot of money from the illnesses. So the medical field would have to change its approach drastically, and this includes dentists. We need to stop confusing and being confused on what works and what doesn't, and talking about strange, odd, hurtful, painful, and abnormal effects. Or now it's good for you and now it isn't. Cause and effect needs to be lessened. I really think doctors should be on a new path, a new outlook as far as how they interact with everyone in society. So I lost my place here. Hold on. So doctors, So less invasive fields and guidance of positive health checkups. Have a nurse talk with you before you see a doctor. Say the doctor's saying you're okay. Everything's okay. You're gonna be okay. Nothing's terminal or deadly or. So you're great, you're healthy, keep up the plant-based lifestyle, keep up being healthy, keep up taking care of yourself. How awesome would this be to pay a doctor for these outcomes? Emergency rooms as well, small, minor irritations. So another fear I think people have is that vegans are pushing a religion on people, and vegans are not trying to push a religion or force a religion on anyone. I mean, it's like progress never really gets anywhere if everyone doesn't participate. No one can see the true benefits of something if not everyone participates. So, yeah, veganism is not a religion, although it could be. However, veganism is for all cultures and all ethnicities and all life. The problem with turning veganism into religion is that people want to explain the inevitable, which is how life came to be. And I don't think we're really going to ever explain that. And why would we? Because we're just going to hurt our heads. And also, the people seem to always try to rebel against authority if no one understands prevention and discipline or why there is authority, then it all goes to shits. Because it also would seem like mine is more right than yours ideology, and in the past we know where that has gotten everyone. Vegans are basically criticized for all these impressions that people have on them, or have been in the past, by people who do not question enough or question to the point of trying to destroy. Or question without realizing the effects that they have on themselves, the planet, and the people around them. So what are some of the fears and questions I had becoming vegan, staying vegan, encountering non-vegans, and what are some of the fears they have? Would we really be healthier if the world went vegan? What about plant diseases? Yes, we would be healthy. I think people need to know that the low-fat, high-carb approach is probably the best option, just because, and not that I don't eat fat, and sometimes I have days where I eat more than others, but I find that the high-carb and the low-fat is the best option. Because carbs feed your brain. Carbs run your neurons, your brain function. So yeah, control your fat intake and be active. And on a high carb, low fat, vegan lifestyle, you will want to exercise more. I can guarantee you. Sorry, I can't look right at you. I have to look over here because for some reason this camera angle is off. So, yeah, and being active is everyone's right. It's everyone's right to be active. So plant diseases, they're kind of a lie because, see, disease is a creation that is a thought process of anger, profit, destruction, and men and women's fears. It's the focus on death rather than life. So focus and create beauty. All the nutrients are beneficial for definition, and in definition, when I say definition, I mean defining, contouring your physicality. And they're important for your physical characteristics. So, and your tonality too. So sometimes when you see something that looks kind of like it's no good, like for instance a banana with spots on it, well, the banana with spots on it goes inside and helps to be anti-cancerous. So a lot of people know this, and I just hope that everyone knows this, because something that looks like it wouldn't be beneficial for you actually can be. Okay, so fear of job loss. So what if people lose their jobs in the meat, dairy, and animal byproduct industry? So what if they do? So what? Lots of people lose their jobs every day from unfair work practices, personal injuries, inadequate pay, hostility, and food choices presented to them in their work environment. The government can and has the ability to financially support these people and their families to start new jobs in more eco-friendly environments. They do this every day with Social Security, disability, and unemployment benefits until they get back on their feet. Fear of losing social workers, therapists, psychologists, counseling, psychiatrists, and the common everyday bad news. No, I don't think we would. If more people were kind, happy, healthy, and depressed, and not and not depressed. If they weren't those things, they could pay these professions to hear the good news in their life. For instance, I go to a therapist and I talk about what's happy in my life, what's good, what's going on that's good. You know, maybe there are a few things that aren't perfect. I can talk about those too, but nobody wants to be paid to hear bad stories. And so why not pay them to hear the good news? And people really like to get paid to hear good news. So fear of overpopulation of animals and bugs. This is difficult for me to explain. Sometimes I wish there were no animals and bugs, to be honest with you. I really wish there weren't. I wish they'd go find a different planet and live their life if that's how it is. If bugs are just a part of our consciousness, then, you know, they're really distracting and annoying. I'd rather not have them. That doesn't mean I don't respect them. I don't honor that they're a sentient being, but still. So our outlook on what animals do, our outlook on what an animal is like, what is the characteristic of what an animal, what the actions are of an animal, I really think that needs to be changed if there are animals. And yeah, nobody should be dying because of animals attacking them. That's wrong. And again, my lips are not aligning with the video. I really don't think nature will allow overpopulation. I really don't think nature will allow overpopulation. I'm going to say a statement. Seems that we are all creators and part of the creative force. Animals do not kill other animals. Animals do not kill humans. Humans do not kill animals, nor harm, nor maim, and humans do not kill humans. There, I just created something. Do you want to contradict that? Because if you are, then you're the murderer. Then you are putting that out into the world. And sometimes murder can be like, you can murder a thought. You can murder a mess. You can murder that kind of topic. But to actually say human is wrong. Sharks do not attack humans. Insects do not infest humans. Animals do not stampede humans, and so on. And why would anyone disagree? That's creating pain, harm, and murder. Hurricanes do not kill humans. Tornadoes do not kill humans. Tsunamis do not kill humans. Landslides do not kill humans, and so on. Make a problem lighter and go save someone from the lightest problem. That's charity. That's compassion. That's a superhero. Here's another thought. I do not need to be fat to be happy. I do not need to be fat to smile, to laugh, to hide, for safety, for comfort, and so on. I do not need anyone else to be that way either. Fear of vegan food, it just doesn't taste as good. Not at first, it doesn't, because your taste buds have to adapt. After you get all that other junk out of your system, it tastes better. And each time you eat a vegan meal, you will feel better, and each time it will taste better. You have to adjust to the flavors to taste the varietals of natural food. There are mock meats that once you eliminate the animal products, you will begin to enjoy the flavors more. Mock meats, nut cheeses, soy cheeses, veggie cheeses, gourmet cheeses, and all of they are far better nutritional options than meat and dairy. You still have to watch your fat consumption. Okay, you still do. But they are healthier. They are way healthier. Be careful of dried fruits, because dried fruits can get in your teeth and cause cavities. So You could water the fruits. There are other people who talk about this. You put the dried fruits in water, and then you can use them for whatever you need to do with them. Okay, but chomping on dried fruit isn't good for you either. So there are so many great recipes that will satisfy your palate in the vegan food scene. Okay. There are so many nutritional dishes you can make and create that taste even better than meat and dairy and animal byproducts. So fear of losing our culture, customs, religions, and social traditions. You don't have to. Cultures have always adapted and socially changed over time. Traditions hold on to their essence and morals. If anything, you may just see your culture and tradition in a new, more realistic, more awesome light. I don't want to lose my sexuality if I go vegan. Vegans are gay, yada, yada, yada. Vegans just don't seem very in tune with their sexuality and their sensuality. I don't think this is honest or at all accurate. It's not. So I don't think that's too of a risque subject to talk about on YouTube, because a lot of other people have talked about way more risque topics than this. Vegans exude a different sexual, sensual energy. Plant hormones are very different from animal hormones. Most vegans are aware that the consensual age for making love should be increased, that children are having or been having children too young, and what that means. You have a child at a young age. Where is that child coming from? Okay, who? What soul? What was taken? How young did they die? So yes, I do think that the age should be increased on consensual sex. So most vegans are aware of this, and a soul has to be reincarnated to die. And sometimes you can create new life, but I'm not going to go into that topic because I don't know much about that at this point. A lot of people have been dying too young. People are also having very, very painful ways of having sex. And I have found that the most considerate ways to make love or have sex, the most beautiful ways and the least stressful to the body and others, are missionary hand jobs. I'm talking too loud and I don't know if I'm waking anyone up in my community, so I'm trying to talk quieter. And then, so hand jobs and lightly. So make sure your fingernails are clipped. This applies to anyone, whether gay, straight, or lesbian. Fear of nonviolence, no police enforcement, free hippies roaming the earth, no war, no need for government, free will murder, rape, molestation, domestic abuse, violence, and thieves, violence against men, children, and so on, and women, accusations, scandals, assassinations. Why throughout history have so many died to initiate change? I have much more faith in humanity than this. I believe in our original goodness. I don't think this makes me naive, and I don't think this ideology should be contradicted. There are always going to be people who govern, always. There are always going to be some sort of war, usually it's mental. But it should not be intense, and people should not be losing their lives over it. And our lies, if we lie, we need to be able to explain why a lie is necessary. Sometimes, and most often, and this is the way it should be, is that a lie should be for a surprise, a nice surprise. Cops, jails, and prisons made money off of silly, funny laws and crimes, not scary, lifeless situations. So cops should be making money a different way. People should be going to jail for funny, silly laws instead of horrible, horrendous laws where people steal and lie and cheat and harm each other. Women should not be afraid of their sexuality and their beauty, and men shouldn't either. And we all have self-control. We shouldn't be getting confused about our self-control. Why don't cops carry squirt guns, you know? Why don't cops carry squirt guns and we can leave the guns to the target practice instead of on their hips, you know? That's a heavy burden to carry. So people fear, you know, no adrenaline rush from wars. Well, recreate a war. Recreate war in a better way where people aren't as traumatized, by war. You know, make robots and go to war with the robots. You know, use remote controls and just make robot wars. You know, no humans dying, no fallen hero. That's a war where everyone wins and has fun. You know, we might take a little bit of you know, we didn't win, our robot didn't win, but, you know, who cares? It's a robot. And, you know, making sure that you say prayers, you know, whatever that is to you. Whether that's maybe you're not religious, it could be another way that you make people happy and make sure everyone stays safe. So yeah, the vegan world is not perfect. Death is a part of life, and some people live way long, and most people should at least reach 100, I think, you know. So, you know, we create our time. The world isn't perfect, but it could be more perfect. It could be more awesome. It could be more cool. It could be really amazing. If you feel amazing and great, the limiter could be the killer. So people who limit you, unless you're consciously understanding what they're saying to you. And murder, like I said before, it sometimes is just a metaphor. It's not to be taken seriously. And really, that's the way it should always be. Always be. Always be. You know, life should be about quantity of years and quality of body, mind, and spirit. Body, spirit, and mind. Do I believe in God? Yes. Do I know how this all came to be? No. But hell yes, I'm living, and that's awesome. Do I agree with statistics? Sometimes. I still use chemicals because it's so difficult and expensive and not as intense of a cleaning process with organics. And I'm sure there are ways to make them more able to do the job properly, as far as like bleach and whatnot, and hair color. So I do think that precious metals should be kept. However, the way they are disposed of and physically manhandled should be done so carefully. So they are not put in the air or too close to the soil's surface. You cannot use people I lost my thought and I read a line that was in a different place. I'm sorry. So, past mistakes cannot be repeated so drastically, and we all know that as like a part of getting wiser and more knowledgeable. but the history as well, the history that we've been through as a planet, as a species, it can't be repeated. If it's going to be revisited, it can't be redistributed in our daily lives. We can't relive it that way because that's very harmful. So being healthy and beautiful at any age does not mean you're taking from anyone. It doesn't mean you're taking from anyone. Taking care of yourself and honoring yourself is a right everyone has. Everyone, children, men, women, everyone. You know? Because I have firm, clean skin and it looks bright, doesn't mean I'm taking from a kid or an adult or anyone. It doesn't have to be that way. We all have starlight. We all have infinite starlight. So wheelchairs should be temporary. Like if someone's getting faint or whatever, people should not be stuck in wheelchairs. Okay? They just shouldn't. So we wear the clothes don't wear us. Okay? We wear the clothes don't wear us. There are some clothes that are naturally more beneficial for certain people, and I'm not really going to go into that topic. Just as far as like temperature, what someone needs at a certain point in time as far as temperature, what someone needs as far as the fabric, the kind of fabric. I don't like really dark fuzzy clothes. I don't like really dark fuzzy clothes at all because they irritate my skin incredibly. So, and women should not have to shave, wax, or deplete their pores. And hair should not be growing in odd places on women, okay? That should not happen. That doesn't mean that men can't align with our thoughts and understand, understand us. I just really think that's a problem when people start bringing up those topics like, oh, you're hormonal, you're acting like this and that and the other, and that's going to cause this and that and the other. Well, all the things that go into play with keeping the skin clear, it's intense. But yeah, I don't think men or women should have hair in unusual places, or men, for that matter. So it's possible to regrow bones and limbs, etc. That doesn't mean that I think people should lose bones, and I don't think people should lose limbs, but it is possible for them to regrow them. I don't like strange effects, unusual effects, weird, peculiar, all those side effects. I don't like those. Every idea that leads us to more of a perfect harmony or a more balanced harmony, if I dare to say so, because a lot of people don't like balance all the time. Every idea that leads us to that cannot be contradicted, or we get nowhere as a society, as humanity. Restrictions and limitations are for movement within society. We need to share and take turns. There are women having children in their 40s. You shouldn't be telling people they're going to have Down syndrome or they're going to be retarded if they have children when they're older. Some people like to wait. And like I said before, they wait because they don't want to take life elsewhere. They don't want to take from someone else's life to have children. So this is normal, and we shouldn't demonize and say it can't be done. And I don't believe in people falling, losing appendages, people stealing, lying, cheating, etc. I'm done with exceptions. I'm done with not seeing happiness and love in my life. Okay, I'm going to stop there because my battery's low on my camera. There are some more things I wanted to say in this, but sorry the quality of light isn't really that good here it's very fuzzy, but I can never get a camera that has good lighting or has a good speed, has a good anything. I'm not getting one at this point, so because I don't have the money. But this is all I've been thinking for a while now, for a long time, and I just wanted to share it with other people. So yeah, I don't know, you probably won't even want to watch it because it's not high quality, right? Have a nice day.